Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my double review for episodes 1 and 2 of the second season of Kuroko's Basketball, aka Kuroko no Basket. Now, the first episode starts off with a little reintroduction of other characters and everything. Then it turns out that Saren has a day off coming up, so the first years are trying to figure out what to do, and they decide that they want to go to the street ball tournament because most of them never play in games, so they want to play a little bit at least outside of practice. So for some reason, Tepe ends up going along with them, but they go there, they go to the street ball tournament, and they end up finding Seo there. Seo, one of the four kings, I believe they were called, along with Shutoko. But we learned that they aren't going to the Winter Cup because only Shutoko and Saren were able to earn that right. But anyway, some time passes and we meet Tatsuya Himuro because his team defeated Seo in the street ball tournament. And it turns out that this guy, Tatsuya Himuro, he has a past with Kagami. So we go into this flashback. Pretty much it's a bunch of Americans speaking English. Kagami wasn't very popular. Didn't have any friends. Himuro became his first friend. They played basketball a lot. That's pretty much the gist of it. That's pretty much the gist of the flashback. Himuro ends up giving Kagami this ring, and then they both end up having the same ring, and it's to symbolize the fact that they're brothers now. But some time passes and they don't see each other. They meet up again, and of course it's to play basketball, but pretty much it ends up getting to the point where Kagami, the student, has become the master. And at least that's what Himuro feels. So in order to prove to himself that he's still, better than Kagami, he tells him that, if you beat me again, then we're not brothers anymore. Though I don't think he meant it in like a sore loser type of way. I think he meant it more in I think he meant it more in a way where he's saying you're not going to be my brother anymore, but instead you're going to be my rival. So the relationship is kind of going to change a little bit. But Kagami didn't want that, especially since Himuro was injured. So when he had a chance to win the game, he ended up going easy on Himuro and missing the shot on purpose. Or it was a layup. Missing the layup on purpose. So then, of course, Tatsuya's mad about that. And then he says, okay, alright, so next time what we're going to do is we're going to bet these rings on the match. I bet you won't go easy on me now, will you? But that match never ends up coming because Himuro moves away. But Tatsuya, Himuro, and Kagami, they meet each other again for the first time in a long time here in Japan in the street ball tournament. And Tatsuya sees it as a way to finally have that final match that they were supposed to have years ago. And all the Saren guys are hearing this story as well. And Kuroko pretty much tells Kagami, all that stuff was your fault. No one wants someone to go easy on them. I feel sorry for them even if they're injured. I know you didn't want to win that way, but oh well. No one wants someone to go easy on them. But yeah, so pretty much what happens is that they end up having this match, Saren versus Tatsuya's team, because it's not Yosen. Tatsuya Himuro goes to Yosen, but that team isn't Yosen. It's just a bunch of random guys. And Himuro ended up being down a man, and Himuro found them, and it was like, oh, alright, I'll be your extra man. But turns out in the finals it's going to be them versus Saren. But for a little bit we switch over to the second years. They're practicing on their day off because they figure, first years are playing, so we might as well do a little bit of practice as well. And we hear about the results of the Inter High. And Rakuzan got in first place. That's the school Akashi goes to, Akashi being the captain of the Generation of Miracles. He's the redhead. the one with the two different colored eyes. One's red and the other's orange, I believe. Knowing what I know in the manga now, I guess that's kind of foreshadowing for something, a certain something later on. I won't spoil it for you, but we learn that Akashi's team gets first place, Toho gets second place, and then Yosen gets third place. But we also learn that none of the Generation of Miracles played in the semifinals or the finals. So that's kind of weird, for the star players to not actually play. But yeah, we after that we end up switching back to Seiren, and I don't really know what to call them. I guess I'll just call them Himuro's team. But we go back to them. They're in the finals. The match between them starts, but as soon as they have the tip off, Murasaki Bara comes out of nowhere and grabs the ball, and he just interrupts the match. And he walks over to Kuroko, hand in the face. But yeah, that's pretty much it for episode 1. I mean, the best part of the episode was Murasaki Bar at the end, and other than that, the only other part that was legitimately enjoyable was listening to these to these Japanese guys speak English. But I mean, it was an okay episode, I guess. I guess I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, nothing too fancy going on. It's a simple episode, really simple episode. Most of the episode is the flashback, or either that or just talking to people. So, yeah, the first episode gets a 6.5 out of 10. I guess you could call it okay plus. Then as for episode 2, it starts off just where episode 1 leaves off. Murasaki Bara, hand and face. And he's like, oh, just kidding, I'm not gonna crush you. But he ends up revealing that the reason he didn't play in Inter High was because Akashi told him to. Now, we know from people like Almine and Midorima that the Generation of Miracles guys, they all have egos. So, and Murasaki Bar is no different. He's no different. So for Murasaki Bar to not play in Inter High just because Akashi told him to, clearly Akashi is someone special. There's clearly a reason why he's captain. Well, why he was captain. But yeah, Murasaki Bar says that he didn't play because Akashi told him not to. He tells Himuro that, we're not allowed to play in unofficial matches. So the two of them are about to leave, but then Kagami stops them. He goes back and forth with him trying to get him to stay, but Murasaki Bar is not having any of it. But he pulls out Kagami's eyebrows. I've never seen that before. Murasaki Bar is an interesting character. He's interesting. I don't like his voice. I don't like his voice at all. But he's an interesting character. But according to Kuroko, he's really good at basketball, but at anything else, he's completely incompetent. And Kagami figures out that he's pretty much just a child. So he treats him like he would a child, and he tries to provoke him. And it works. At one point, they even have what is it? That it's like a childish joke that people use. Like if you call someone stupid or something, and they say, "I know you are, but what am I?" or something like Murasaki Bars or something like that at some point, and all the first years, all the sophomores on Seiren, they're like, "Why are you guys acting like kids for?" So that was pretty funny, but Kagami provokes Murasaki Bar by calling him a coward, saying that he's scared, and the thing is that is something childish that most people wouldn't fall for. But unfortunately, it's actually something that happens a lot in shonen, and people fall for it all the time. I don't know what happened to sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Apparently, that doesn't work in shonen anymore. But Murasaki Bar ends up playing. Teppei walks up to him and he's like, "Oh, long time no see." And Murasaki Bar has no clue who he is. But after an Ignite pass, to Tepe, and Tepe dunks over Murasaki Bara. Murasaki Bara didn't try to block it or anything. He just sat there and he just sat there and watched. He didn't care at all. But after that dunk, Murasaki Bara remembered Tepe. There's a little flashback to one of the games that Tepe's team had against. Wow, I forgot the name. Takeo. There we go. Takeo Middle School. And Tepe and Murasaki Bar, they're matched up. And it's obvious that Tepe's team is going to lose, but Tepe doesn't give up yet. Like, he knows he's going to lose, but he's still trying. He's still trying to make the loss as unembarrassing as possible, I guess. But Murasaki Bar doesn't understand why Tepe is still trying, even though it's obvious that his team won't win. And that kind of annoys him. Because for Takeo guys, winning is everything. So knowing that you're gonna lose and still trying that hard, it just doesn't make any sense to him. So he ends up deciding that he wants to crush Tepe. Hand in face. But yeah. So that desire comes back to the present, and Murasaki Bar says to Tepe, it would have been better for you if I didn't remember you, because now I'm gonna crush you. But after that, play continues. Himuro ends up scoring. Kagami isn't able to block his shot or anything like that. And after that, we go to Momoi. Pretty much. Oh, actually, no. It comes in a little later in the episode. I'm sorry. Kagami gets the ball and he goes to dunk on Murasaki Bara, but I guess Murasaki Bara's presence is too much for him or something, so he stops underneath the basket and he's just standing there. Then it starts to rain, the match gets stopped and ends up getting cancelled, and around this time is when we go to the second years again, and that's when Momoi shows up, asking to see if Kuroko's there. There's a little bit of comedy here. It's your typical shonen comedy. You've seen it 1,000 times. So we go back to the game again, and pretty much Kagami doesn't want the match to stop, but they kind of have to because of the weather and the rain. It's slippery and it's not safe. But Himuro gives him one last shot, and it's this shot where it's a special kind of shot where we don't know the details of it yet, but in the anime at least. But pretty much it looks as though the ball phases through Kagami's hand. So that's interesting. But Murasaki Bar and Himuro end up leaving. The guys get called by Riko to come back to school and to the gym and everything. Momoi puts on one of Riko's shirts, but Momoi is kind of bigger in the chest areas, and it really shows when she puts on Riko's shirt. But there's some more comedy there. Kuroko and the others get back, and pretty much Momoi starts talking about this incident that happened with her and Almine. It turns out while Murasaki Bar didn't play in Inter High because Akashi told him to, Almine didn't play because of injuries. Momoi went to the coach and asked the coach to keep Almine out of the games because of his injuries. And Kuroko talks about how the generation of miracles are so good that their bodies can't really take their skills, so they get injured a lot more easily when they go too hard, when they play too hard. But pretty much what happens is that Almine finds out. He gets mad at Momoi, says some stuff like, I don't want to see your ugly face here again. And Momoi is obviously saddened by this and gets angry, and she runs off. And then that's how she ends up at Seirin. There's some more comedy here. It was actually kind of funny. I laughed a little bit this time when even Kuroko is criticizing Kagami. But what Kagami said is right. He said, you like Kuroko, so why do you care if Almine doesn't like you? And she like, and it's true. She does like Almine. It's just she doesn't. She thinks she likes Kuroko, and it's just some stupid. I forgot the reason. It was something stupid like he gave her a popsicle sticks, and then she fell in love with him. Doesn't make any sense. But the person she really likes is Almine. It's pretty clear, but she doesn't realize that. So she like makes up some stupid answer like, oh, you know, it's a different kind of like, or something like that. Momoi likes Kuroko, but she really actually likes Almine. She was willing to go to the same school as Almine to take care of him instead of following Kuroko to Seirin. She doesn't like letting Almine out of her sight. It's pretty it's pretty clear, but she doesn't realize it yet. That's pretty much it for that scene. Um, I believe what happens after that is Kuroko starts walking Momoi home. But then we get a brief flashback to what was already happening. Momoi and Kuroko and everyone there talking, and she tells him that Akashi, the reason Akashi didn't play is probably because he didn't see a reason to, because he's not really interested in playing for the championship because he knows that if he plays, he's just gonna win, and that's not interesting. So he thought the game would be more interesting if Rakusan played against Toho, and he didn't play. So that tells you something about Akashi. He's the type of character that always wins. He's just that good. So, but I won't tell you any more about what he's like or anything. I'll just let you find out. But that's why Akashi didn't play. Then Kuroko and Momoi go to this basketball court, and Kuroko he reveals the vanishing drive, which is that drive technique he uses. He vanishes, and to his opponent, it seems like he vanishes, and he's suddenly behind them. Um, that's pretty much that's pretty much it for the episode, actually. To be honest, that entire thing with Almine and Momoi, it doesn't affect the relationship at all in the future. So I mean, it's pretty pointless. It's actually there. It serves no purpose other than setting up Momoi and Kuroko being able to go to that basketball court. That's pretty much it. I mean, Kuroko showing Momoi vanishing drive is literally the only reason why we wasted well, not wasted, but the only reason we had all that time devoted to Momoi and that flashback, her and Almine, stuff like that. So I mean, that's the only. So there was a little bit of comedy in there. I laughed for like at one of the jokes, but overall the scene's kind of pointless. I mean, if you really wanted to give Almine a reason to not play, all you had to do was say Akashi told him not to. That's it. That would really hammer home. That would really hammer home just how good Akashi is and how the other Generation Miracles see him. If Almine, the guy who doesn't listen to anybody, listens to Akashi, then he's legit. So that would have been better. It's pretty much that's the only purpose of that entire scene, making it so that Momoi and Kuroko can be at that basketball court. The stuff before that with the match was cool, I guess. I mean, the second season is starting off kind of slow, but I'll give this second episode. I'll give this a 6.5 out of 10 as well. I mean, one scene was pointless. The scene at the end was cool, but the stuff at the beginning was cool, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to give it a good grade, but it's not really helping me out. But yeah, first two episodes of Kuroko no Basket, second season, got a 6.5 out of 10. Magi review will be up tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be done with my exam and my presentation. I have another project I have to do that's due next Wednesday, but that's due next Wednesday, so I'll be all caught up and everything. Um, Today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, so Hunter x Hunter will be coming out on Tuesday. Um, I don't really know when I'm gonna do the Hunter x Hunter review, but I might do it Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah, big three reviews are gonna be up on Wednesday probably, or unless they come out early. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna be as busy as I was last week for a long, long time. So yeah, that's how things are. That's how my schedule's looking so far with reviews and uploads and everything. But that's it, and I'll see you guys next time.